to question number 2, surface area of cones. So in this example, we have another cone, but this time instead of being given the slant height, we're actually given the height. So if you remember, our formula is surface area is equal to the surface area of the base, which is pi r squared, plus surface area of the lateral area, which is pi rs. So in order to be able to calculate the surface area, we are going to need to figure out what the slant height is. So based on the first lesson that we did on geometry, if you remember, the Pythagorean theorem tells us that the square of the longest side is equal to the square of the short side. So in this case, we know that s squared is going to equal h squared plus r squared. So then we know that s squared is going to equal h. Well, the height is 24, so it's going to be 24 squared, plus the radius squared, which is 7 squared. So again, I can bring over the calculator. I'm going to do 24, and then on my calculator, I don't have a squared button, so I'm just going to do y and then squared, and you'll notice that there's this lovely little caret here. Some of you will have an x squared button on your calculator, and some of you will have a y to the x button, and some of you will have this little caret. They all work in pretty much the same. So we're going to do 24 squared plus 7 squared, and we get 625. So then that means that s normally would be plus or minus the square root of 625, but because obviously we can't have negative side lengths, it's just going to be the positive answer. So again, to find that on my calculator, just do second function and see how there's that lovely little square root. And I can either type in 625, or I can see that on my calculator I have a answer button, and what that does is it brings back the last answer. So if I click on that and hit equals, it tells me that s is equal to 25. So now I know that my radius is 7 and my slant height is 25. So I can go ahead and put that into the formula. So I have pi times 7 squared plus pi times the radius, which is 10, and the slant height, which is 25. And so 7 squared is 49, so I have 49 pi plus 7 times 25 is 175 pi. And then I can go ahead and add those up, and so I have 175 plus 49, which is 224 pi, and that's my accurate answer. But if I then want to figure out that is from approximately numerically, then I can just go and do 224 times the pi button on my calculator, hit equals, and it's approximately equal to 703.7 centimeters. 703, sorry, 0.7 centimeters squared.